Lena's childhood was a picture-perfect dream until her 10th year on Earth shattered it forever. The vibrant glow of the Lantern Festival promised joy, but instead, it masked a brutal massacre inside her home. Her entire family was slaughtered. The official story dismissed it as a tragic murder-suicide committed by her father. But Lena knew the truth. The warm, devoted man who raised her would never commit such a horrific atrocity. Left an orphan survivor, she was swept into the shadows of the Emperor's estate, where her real story begins. She became the top state investigator to fight injustice and uncover the truth. The scene shifted to the minister's house. This happened on the day his son died. He incapacitated the girl his son loved and decided to bury them together. He wanted his son to rest in peace. Lena entered and disguised herself as a ghost to force a confession. The plan worked until the minister's wife noticed Lena's shadow and declared she was human. The guards attacked. They fought Lena until she felt exhausted and fell to the ground. The minister announced she would become his son's second wife. She would be buried alive. Lena warned him she was a princess and people would search for her. The minister ignored her. He brought 4 nails and ordered the guards to hammer them into her and bury her alive. Lena's assistant, Sue, realized Lena was late. Sue decided to go inside and search for her. She found nothing. The guards proceeded to bury Lena alive. She promised them she would escape. She vowed to take revenge on the minister and prove his guilt. Lena quickly placed a knife near the coffin before they buried her. She then blew her whistle. Sue located the sound, and they pulled Lena out from under the dirt. Lena went to the minister and claimed she returned as a real ghost. The minister complained that he could never get rid of her. The guards took the minister away for interrogation. He insisted that Lena could not convict him or prove anything. Lena replied that she knew he was cunning. She noted he refused to speak since the day her father died. She added that the only thing she managed to prove was his attempt to murder her. That crime alone carried a heavy penalty. It was enough to lock him up for life. The minister confessed that killing her father only took a few seconds, but she had 7 lives like a cat. He complained she would never die. The guards took him to prison. Lena felt exhausted, and Sue pointed out that she endured 4 nails. Sue was amazed she did all that just to solve the case. Lena replied that she had no other choice. She explained it was impossible to reason with the minister. The scene then shifted to the astronomer, Cheng. He observed a blue star in the sky and declared it a terrible omen. He insisted he had to inform the emperor immediately. Later, Lena stood and watched the wedding ceremony of Yo-Yo, the emperor's daughter. Lena felt incredibly happy because Yo-Yo was her closest friend. She remembered the moment Yo-Yo gave her 2 bracelets. Yo-Yo promised she would never forget her, but explained she had to leave to get married. The guests proceeded with the wedding ceremony. Yo-Yo stepped out to perform her dance, leaving everyone absolutely amazed by her beauty. Suddenly, a terrifying creature flew across the sky and set fire to Yo-Yo's stage. Lena frantically tried to save her friend. The stage exploded instantly, killing Yo-Yo. Lena felt devastated and reminisced about their deep friendship. The emperor issued an order transferring the case to another state investigator. He wanted to avenge the princess and uncover the truth behind her death. Lena strongly objected and insisted on handling the case herself. They were forced to agree because of her stubborn nature. No one could stop her. Cheng arrived and informed Lena about the mysterious bird's flight path. It flew against the wind. He explained this proved the attack was intentional. He suggested she look closer for clues. A secret definitely hid beneath the stage. Lena pointed out that he was an astronomer and an expert in directions. She declared him the prime suspect. Lena ordered the guards to arrest Cheng and lock him up. She then climbed upstairs. She reached the top floor of the palace. She found a tied string and realized the creature was tethered there to follow a specific path. Meanwhile, Cheng sat in his cell. He asked the guards for pen and paper, drew a picture, and sent it to Lena. She suddenly sensed something unusual. She went beneath the ground and discovered wires connected to the area's lamps, realizing someone ignited them intentionally. She told Sue that the entire attack was perfectly planned. She realized Cheng sent the drawing because he understood the plot. He predicted the setup before they even discovered it. Lena immediately visited Cheng and asked for his help. She needed him to solve the case. He reminded her he was an astronomer, not an investigator. Lena sent a message to the emperor, who quickly replied. The emperor approved Cheng to work alongside her. His strict orders forced Cheng to agree. Their very first step involved a visit. Cheng interrogated a match seller. The shop owner confirmed that someone did indeed come and buy from him. He purchased a large amount of matches. The buyer stood in a dark place, and only his silhouette remained visible. Cheng successfully determined the suspect's height and body shape. Lena felt incredibly surprised by his skills. She marveled at his highly accurate calculations. Cheng decided to leave, but heard a sound while walking and entered a house. He discovered a murdered woman. Lena arrived and informed everyone that the victim was the advisor's sister. She also noticed something. Cheng felt terrified of blood. He told Lena she needed to examine the corpse. She inspected the body and made a discovery. She found clues in her hair and determined the woman died from a chest stab wound. Cheng discovered footprints matching the princess's killer. He followed the tracks and found a secret door, revealing the killer's hideout. Lena mentioned mentioned the advisor's sister. The sister planned to testify about the incident the next day. They went to investigate the people present at the sister's mansion. The staff confirmed the sister left in a carriage. No one knew her destination. They sat somewhere and discussed the story of the sister's death. The female owner of the place told them the victim deserved it. She declared she deserved everything that happened to her. They felt surprised she knew the victim. The owner revealed her face. She revealed a burn mark. She confirmed the advisor's sister burned her and kicked her out of the palace. The sister acted very cruelly. Everyone hated her and wished for her death. Justice finally took revenge for them. They asked the owner about the killer's identity. She confirmed the sister had many enemies, including high-ranking officials. She wrote the suspects' names on the table. Lena went to interrogate the first woman on the list. She noticed her anxiety and asked about the hostility between them. The woman confirmed the advisor's sister treated her harshly. Everyone always tried to win the sister's approval to please the emperor. Everyone feared the sister. She insulted the woman and her family in a terrible way. The woman had to apologize publicly in front of everyone. The princess eventually intervened and defended her against the sister. The woman loved the princess deeply. She felt devastated upon hearing the news of her death and knew the sister played a role. Lena grew suspicious and claimed she could read palms. She took the woman's hand and noticed a strange fingerprint. Lena confirmed this matched the fingerprint on the lease agreement where the sister died. The woman admitted the sister forced her. The sister ordered her to do it, and she could not refuse. The woman confirmed the sister played a part in the princess's tragedy. On the day of the fire, the sister acted completely unsurprised and expected the entire disaster. This confirmed her involvement. The sister died, leaving the woman as the prime suspect. Lena assured her she could have helped. Lena stated that speaking up earlier could have prevented everything. The woman replied that doing so would endanger her parents. Her parents would face danger and possible death because of the sister's immense cruelty. Suddenly, the girl felt sick. She collapsed on the floor. Lena tried to save her but failed. She confirmed the sauce contained poison. Meanwhile, the girl's mother and family stood outside, wanting to enter and check on her condition. Lena realized she fell into a trap. She noted the family would suspect her of murder. 2 girls died from poison. Lena drank the sauce, shocking Cheng completely. She assured him he could save her. He needed to give her pills, medical treatment, and acupuncture. The girl's mother entered, feeling deeply heartbroken. She accused Lena of causing her daughter's death. Lena proved she also ate the food and suddenly collapsed on the floor. The poison took over her body, and Cheng rushed to save her. They took Lena to the palace. The emperor scolded her. He criticized her for exposing herself to poison. He mentioned she previously suffered injuries and ordered her to drop the investigation. Lena argued the princess was her close friend. She refused to abandon her and insisted on bringing her peace by catching the killer. The emperor finally agreed to let her continue due to her stubbornness. Cheng arrived to assist her. They began connecting the clues of the case. They concluded the killer stayed very close to the princess. They suspected her personal bodyguard. Lena doubted this theory and went to search his assistant's room. She found him missing. They followed his trail and discovered he rented a boat. Lena and Cheng took another boat. Suddenly, they spotted a fire on the assistant's rented boat. They boarded to find him. Lena noticed the exact same embroidery on the pillow. She felt utterly shocked seeing the assistant engulfed in flames. She immediately turned and left, leaving Cheng deeply confused. He questioned her actions. She remembered the princess stating she felt imprisoned in the palace and would never allow that again. Cheng then examined the assistant's clothes, found a hole, and remembered the man who attacked him. He declared the princess hid something very important from them. He then followed Lena. He followed Lena and told her that everything that happened was connected except for the assistant's death. He believed the killer escaped. He assured her that the princess remained alive and faked her own death. Lena replied that he could inform the emperor if he wanted to, but she intended to protect the princess. She planned to risk her life to help the princess escape as she desired. Lena entered the house and saw the princess. Yo-Yo told her she waited for her. Yo-Yo began explaining that the assistant saved her during the Lantern Festival last year. She saw him up close for the first time and they fell in love. She imagined this love was the key. It would free her from her entire prison. The emperor indeed offered the princess a marriage proposal and she tried to refuse. She tried to refuse in every possible way. However, the country's interests pressured the emperor, forcing her to agree. The assistant created a plan and executed it flawlessly. It was an even better plan than the Lantern Festival setup. Yo-Yo explained she successfully escaped and left all her jewelry behind, so people assumed she burned to death. She then went to the house. The assistant told her to wait for him there. She suddenly encountered the advisor's sister wearing her own wedding dress. The advisor's sister revealed she orchestrated this entire plan to sabotage the state's arrangement with the foreign nation. She aimed to ruin the marriage with the emperor. She planned to take a large sum of money and marry the emperor herself. She wanted to marry him without any obstacles. After marrying him, she intended to expose Yo-Yo's secret and reveal she remained alive to cause problems. This would cause massive conflict between the emperor and the other state. Yo-Yo tried to silence her and spoke up. Yo-Yo called her malicious. The advisor's sister tried to push her away and threatened to expose her immediately. Yo-Yo refused to beg and threatened to expose her father. Yo-Yo was forced to stab her with a dagger and ran away. She later realized the truth. The entire scheme targeted the princess. Yo-Yo realized she was the one who went to the assistant's boat and burned him to get revenge for exposing her. The princess told Lena her father would forgive her actions. She explained her father had a big, merciful heart. The princess then went to the emperor. She explained everything to him. The emperor praised her intelligence. She informed him his daughter was kidnapped. The emperor announced that Lena and Cheng remained in charge. They would remain the top state investigators for the entire country. He threw a grand feast to celebrate this happy occasion. The emperor asked the princess to sit next to him. She apologized to him for everything she did. He told her she was kidnapped and everything happened against her will. He assured her he would organize another event. He promised to throw her a new wedding and marry her off. Lena wanted to object because of the forced marriage situation. He forced her into everything. However, the princess silenced Lena and asked her father to let her perform one last dance to thank him. The princess stepped up and performed her final dance. She thanked the emperor for everything he did for her. She then threw herself off the top of the stage. Lena rushed to her side and asked her why she did it. The princess explained that now no one could force her into anything again. The emperor felt devastated and announced he would find another princess. He planned to marry another princess off to secure the treaty between the two nations. Lena then decided to visit Cheng's mother. Cheng's mother welcomed her warmly. She noted that Lena looked just like her mother and explained they cared deeply for each other. They were very close friends. She mentioned Lena's mother loved the perfumes she crafted. This made her scent always beautiful and unique. Lena asked when her father became aggressive, since people claimed he killed his family. Cheng's mother confirmed her father was never aggressive and remained gentle. However, on the day of the incident, Lena fell ill with a fever and forgot everything. She explained that Lena's father rushed out that day. He looked very strange when he returned. Everyone left the estate, and the tragedy occurred shortly after. The spring season finally arrived, and beautiful flowers began to bloom. The glowing flowers looked beautiful. The emperor and empress went to admire them. The floral lights extinguished as the moon vanished. The emperor's assistant stepped forward. The assistant tried to pick a flower. They were shocked to find a corpse hidden behind the plants. Everyone panicked, and the emperor ordered the investigation bureau to intervene. He demanded they solve the case immediately. Lena examined the corpse and discovered the victim carried a bag of herbs. The herbs caused the plants to grow rapidly during the rain and winter. Cheng later discovered the deceased woman's identity. She worked as a palace maid and was recently released. He gathered all the documents proving her release. Lena and Cheng left. Lena and Cheng visited the maid's family. The maid's mother confirmed they had not heard from their daughter in a long time. The mother asked Lena about the reward promised to her daughter upon leaving the palace. Lena handed her a bag of money and left instructions. Lena asked her to report any new information. The maid's sister handed Lena a box of letters. The sister explained the victim sent them. They finished the meeting and left. The maid's sister then asked Lena about her siblings' whereabouts. Lena promised to search for her and find her. She gave the sister a unique necklace and advised her on what to do if her mother pressured her. She instructed the sister to present the necklace to the investigation bureau if her mother forced her to serve in the palace or marry against her will. Lena promised she would know. She promised to come and save her. Lena and Cheng returned home and inspected the letters. They discovered the letters only proved one thing. The maid sent them money to treat her father and provide for the household. Cheng felt surprised and noted that the maid lived under immense pressure. One of the maid's friends arrived and claimed she knew the killer's identity. She mentioned the maid possessed a necklace she never took off. The friend saw that exact necklace with one of the servants. Lena and Cheng went and met Zeno, the head servant. Zeno confirmed he loved the maid deeply. He admitted he truly wanted to marry her. He explained the maid took all her money and left him. He knew nothing about her until he confirmed she died and was buried. They asked him if anyone else admired her. Zeno told them the garbage collector had feelings for her. Lena and Cheng then followed Zeno and saw him heading out. Zeno went to the market. A mysterious person arrived and sprayed a substance on him, causing bats to swarm around him until he fell to the ground and died. Cheng watched the scene and recognized the attacker as the garbage collector. Lena immediately attacked the garbage collector and successfully arrested him. They took him away. They prepared to interrogate him, but his terrible smell forced them to make him shower first. He then told his story. He explained people hated him when he first started working because of the garbage smell. He faced constant bullying until the maid defended him, and he instantly fell in love with her. He loved her from the first moment because she was the only person who defended him. He watched her for a while and made a discovery. He discovered she loved Zeno. He went to speak to her on the day she left the palace, but found her beaten and thrown in the street. He took her and treated her wounds. He decided to marry her, but she died 10 days later. He firmly assured them he did not kill her. Lena and Cheng felt extremely confused. They wondered where the maid went during those 10 days. They went to question the departure department. The officials confirmed the details. The officials confirmed the maid left in a carriage with a group of other maids. They did not know the destination because they only recorded departures. Lena and Cheng then returned. They asked the garbage collector about the exact location where he found the maid. He told them he found her in a place filled with roses, flowers, music, and drums. They went to search the area. They found the location and discovered it was a brothel. They immediately questioned the female owner. They asked the owner about the girls. She claimed it was only a drinking tavern and no girls lived there. Suddenly, Lena heard a noise and ran to find its source. The staff tried to convince Lena that everything was completely normal. She naturally remained suspicious. Meanwhile, a group of girls sat locked inside a room as the brothel owner arrived. He told the girls they would work in prostitution. They immediately refused, and one girl attempted to escape. The owner burned her with fire, terrifying everyone. The girls tried to escape at night, but the owner caught them. Lena and Cheng decided to devise a plan. Cheng disguised himself as a fortune teller to make predictions. He predicted the future. Lena arrived disguised as Sue, and Cheng performed a fake reading for her. Everyone believed him, and their plan succeeded. At night, they tried to scare the brothel owner. The owner felt terrified and summoned the fortune teller. Cheng told him evil spirits haunted the place and they needed to banish them. Sue listened to them while in disguise. The owner blindfolded Cheng and took him to the house containing the captive girls. They pretended to banish the spirits there. Cheng claimed evil spirits occupied the room where the girls' voices came from. He promised to return at night with his tools. He arrived later that night carrying his equipment. He brought a box. Sue suddenly emerged from the box and switched places with Lena. Lena successfully remained inside the brothel, and the staff locked the door behind her. She began searching. Lena searched for the girls. The brothel owner suddenly appeared, but she managed to tie him up. She found the girls, and one informed her that many others needed saving. Lena wore the captive girls' clothes and went with them. She found herself inside the brothel's main area. A man attempted to whip the girls. Lena remembered a detail. She recalled the whip marks on the maid's corpse. The garbage collector also mentioned finding her beat. Lena stepped forward and told the man something. She offered to take the girl's place to take the beating. Suddenly, the assistant freed himself and rushed to warn the others that the investigator discovered their location. The criminals tried to evacuate the location. Meanwhile, Cheng and Sue arrived and fought the guards to find Lena. Soldiers from the royal palace also arrived to assist. The soldiers helped them fight. During the chaos, the criminals tied Lena to a heavy stone and threw her into the water. However, the assistant secretly handed her a knife before drowning her. As Lena drowned, she remembered a young boy saving her from drowning in the past. She woke up and found Cheng beside her. He scolded her for constantly risking her life. Cheng confirmed the girls disappeared and managed to escape the brothel safely. Lena and Cheng began tracking the carriage's trail. They realized they completely lost the carriage's tracks. Later, Cheng's mother visited Lena and reminded her of the past. She mentioned the time Lena drowned and Cheng saved her. Lena admitted she could not remember the incident. She then went to sit with Cheng and asked him about saving a young girl. Cheng replied he was too young to remember. Lena revealed she was that little girl and looked at him strangely. Cheng then admitted he remembered one detail. He remembered she fell and no one pushed her. Lena felt annoyed that he remembered her clumsiness but forgot saving her. The emperor later learned about Lena's actions. He summoned her to punish her. He scolded her for wearing prostitutes' clothes and entering a brothel. Lena defended herself, explaining she was solving the maid's case. She assured him a massive secret hid behind the brothel. The emperor ordered her to continue the investigation without bringing scandal to the palace. Lena replied immediately. She told him people's gossip meant nothing to her. She then remembered striking the man who tried to assault her. She went to sit with Cheng. A worker approached and informed them an advisor was causing chaos nearby. The worker noticed whip marks on the advisor's hands. Lena immediately realized the advisor's involvement. She confirmed his connection to the case and obtained his name and address. After a long, formal greeting with the advisor, Lena and Cheng finally managed to locate the missing girls. They managed to free her. One of the girl's brothers arrived and told her he came to rescue her. Suddenly, an arrow struck her, and she fell to the ground dead. He felt deeply devastated by her death. They went to interrogate the advisor. They told him they had a witness, the brothel owner. The brothel owner arrived, but completely refused to speak. Naturally, the advisor claimed they had no evidence against him. He demanded his release. Lena simply laughed at him and declared that the brothel owner already confessed. They brought the brothel owner his food. The owner complained, saying they caused him enough trouble with high-ranking officials. The advisor obviously felt extremely annoyed and terrified. The brother of the murdered girl arrived and tried to storm the prison. He suddenly found the brothel owner lying dead with a pen nearby. The owner had written a suicide note. These tricks clearly did not fool Lena. She went to the advisor and promised to expose him under any circumstances. Lena sat down, feeling upset and lost in thought. Cheng arrived. He assured her she could solve the case. He insisted that everyone involved, even the country's top officials, must face justice. Lena finally decided to visit the garbage collector. She showed him the bag of flowers they found with the maid. He confirmed he saved the maid, but never kidnapped her. He explained the maid lived in constant fear since that moment. She was terrified and stopped eating entirely due to extreme anxiety. She suddenly died. He confirmed seeing the advisor and noticing a scar on his hand. He realized the advisor was involved. That was exactly why he buried the maid's body inside the palace to demand justice. Suddenly, the garbage collector collapsed on the ground. Lena promised to save him. He told her his life did not matter. He insisted she must get justice for the maid. She was the only person who treated him kindly and deserved a beautiful life, but they kidnapped her. The scene shifted as the advisor left. They discovered the advisor was released. The emperor personally ordered his release due to insufficient evidence for a conviction. Lena immediately mounted her horse and chased after him. The advisor's carriage suddenly overturned, and the servant fell. Lena arrived at the scene. Suddenly, the servant pushed the advisor directly onto Lena's sword, effectively killing him. The guards rushed in. Cheng called it a murder. Lena explained exactly what happened. Cheng confirmed her innocence rate would be 70% if a witness existed. However, without a witness, her innocence rate dropped to 10%. She told him she relied entirely on him. The guards then took Lena to prison. Sue visited her. Sue told her she feared for her safety because she constantly got into major trouble. Lena assured her Cheng would get her out of the situation. Cheng indeed managed to explain the incident. He ordered the emperor to release her and grant her a leave of absence. Lena's condition worsened. She began drinking heavily and told herself she was a failure. She failed to get justice for the murdered girls. Later, a prince from the country hosted a party featuring dancers. They lit incense the next day. Everyone died. Sue went to Lena and told her about the new case. Lena insisted she was on leave and felt unready for any case. Sue then revealed a detail. The killer was a scent expert, meaning the brothel gang was involved. This information instantly excited Lena. She went to examine the corpses and discovered toxic incense. Cheng arrived and confirmed it was a poisoning case. The poisoning occurred through the incense. Lena then visited the master and asked about the poison used. He explained it was an extremely potent poison that required a specific antidote. They went to the slaughterhouse owner and found him poisoned. His wife begged them to help him. They gave him the antidote. As soon as he woke up, they asked him what happened. He told them the girls conspired with him to do it. He claimed he did not know they wanted to seek revenge and kill everyone else. He thought about apologizing, but realized the scandal would ruin him. He said he could not apologize in his final days. Lena handed him a sword and advised him to kill himself. Lena then visited one of the girls she previously saved. The girl explained the immense suffering she endured after discovering the truth. She learned the advisor and the officials responsible for raping them were still alive. They tortured the girls and continued living a good life. The girl watched the advisor until he visited the house where the other girls lived. One of the girls stepped out to buy makeup. She followed the girl and told her they had to take revenge for everything done to them. She explained the men would never stop abusing other girls and would never leave them alone. The girl confessed she could not sleep. She constantly remembered the days of torture and rape by those men. She noted the men lived peacefully while the victims suffered forever. They agreed to eliminate the people responsible for the trafficking ring. The girls gathered, and the girl prepared the poison for them. They hosted the party. The girl told Lena that the victims could finally live in peace without feeling the torture for the rest of their lives. They would not have to constantly remember their painful past. Suddenly, the girl felt sick and confessed she also ingested the poison. She said she was going to join her friends. However, she felt happy she managed to destroy the powerful and influential men who abused the girls without accountability. The girl died. They buried her next to the other girls. The maid's sister visited her sibling's grave for the first time. She promised she would not end up like her and would live a better life. She vowed to send her parents the money they needed. Rushi heard noises and stepped outside. She went out to see what was happening. She suddenly collapsed on the ground. She woke up to find herself in front of Investigator Lena. Investigator Lena reassured her and mentioned her stomach looked slightly swollen. She noted Rushi suffered from shock and tried to treat her. She attempted to use acupuncture, but Rushi felt terrified and refused the treatment. She later sat with her assistant, Sue. Rushi told her she needed a specific doctor. She insisted on visiting Dr. Shao to banish the evil spirits. He actually did that. At night, Lena woke up to sounds. She saw ghost-like figures and went outside with Cheng to investigate. They spotted a masked person. Lena tried to stop him but suffered a hand injury. She cut her hand on his string. The masked person successfully escaped. Cheng later discovered the figures were not ghosts. It was simply a lens reflecting moonlight. The masked person used a trick. He used blood and phosphorescent stickers to project the ghost images. They confirmed the figures were not ghosts and began their investigation. They searched the area and found footprints. Cheng informed them the footprints belonged to a woman who sweated slightly and possessed great agility. Her footprints did not leave deep imprints in the dirt. Cheng concluded she wore ordinary shoes. They then decided to investigate the matter. Roshan approached them and handed over Princess Wing's belongings. Roshan confirmed Princess Wing died 7 days ago. The strange events began occurring right after her death. Ghosts appeared in the palace. Lena asked her how the princess died. Roshan confirmed Princess Wing enjoyed good health but died from a cold. Lena and Cheng grew suspicious of the situation and reviewed Princess Wing's symptoms. Cheng found a uniquely locked box. He opened it and found stones and some musical notes inside. Su then brought them, the threads available in the market. Lena successfully recognized the thread's texture. They confirmed this thread belonged to musical instruments. It cost a lot of money, and only talented artists could buy it. They decided to visit the musical venues and observe the musicians there. Lena listened to a piece of music and felt deeply moved. She told Cheng she heard this piece from her mother in the past. Cheng replied that he also listened to this melody with his father. They then started guessing which musician wore the mask. He stated the one with the correct guess would win. They finally spotted Jin playing music. She matched all the characteristics they observed earlier. They approached to speak with her, but Jin tried to escape. Lena suddenly attacked her and realized Jin used the exact same moves the masked person used against her. Lena tried to interrogate her, but Jin refused to speak. Cheng arrived and confirmed they held a ceremony on the 7th day of the princess's death. He mentioned they searched for Jin to give her a reward, but she was missing. Jin then revealed she was the princess's close friend. Jin began telling them her story. She explained that when she first advanced in music, she realized girls had no opportunities. She disguised herself as a boy to secure a chance, and it worked. Many people bullied her, but Princess Wing appeared and befriended her. They spent 3 years living together. They always played music together. They performed in the hall one day when a king arrived. He loved Wing's music and decided to take her to live with him in the palace. Jin told this story while feeling deeply emotional. She continued her story, explaining that Wing started visiting her after the king granted her permission. However, Wing always feared something, and her behavior seemed strange. During that time, Wing told Jin she could leave the country and return home in 6 months to finally experience freedom. Jin replied that she wanted to experience that freedom with her. The princess responded it was impossible after what happened. Princess Wing left her and walked away. Jin noticed Wing forgot her perfume bag. Jin followed her, found her looking exhausted, and discovered she was pregnant. Wing ordered Jin to stay completely silent. Jin snapped out of her memories and stated she never saw the princess since that day. The only news she received was about Wing's death. Jin felt devastated. Lena asked about the perfume bag. Jin took it out and showed it to her. Jin explained she wanted to return it personally, but failed because the news of Wing's death arrived first. Cheng and Lena took the bag and decided to leave. Jin stopped them and asked if they planned to arrest her. Lena assured her there was no reason for an arrest. Cheng handled the issue of banishing the evil spirits terrifying the palace residents. As they left, they heard Jin playing the exact same melody she played for the princess. Jin remembered all their memories together. Jin later decided to go and see the princess's corpse, herself at the temple. The priest refused to let her visit. Lena claimed Cheng was the princess's brother and came to bid her a final farewell. The priest naturally agreed to let them inside. Lena entered and began examining the corpse. She discovered Wing died of extreme terror, not a cold as the report stated. Wing was in her 20s and possessed a strong body. Cheng pointed out red marks on her hands, indicating she suffered from poisoning. Lena warned him they had to close the coffin. They used sawdust to preserve the corpse until burial, and it was highly flammable. They covered the coffin and started walking away. They noticed the coffin remained slightly open. Sunlight entered the box and ignited a fire. Lena and Cheng tried to extinguish it. The priest arrived feeling furious because the corpse burned. He declared he had to report the incident. Lena stopped him and warned him about reporting it. She stated everyone who tampered with coffins before would expose him. The coffin consisted of cheap wood and was replaced. She pointed out he failed to use adequate materials to honor the prince's corpse. The priest naturally felt terrified. He asked them what to do next. They informed him someone intentionally spread butterflies to burn the coffin. The priest gathered everyone in the temple. They started inspecting everyone's hands, but noticed absolutely nothing unusual. The priest told them the culprit definitely came from outside the temple. Lena and Cheng insisted the culprit hid inside. They suddenly spotted a man walking by. He claimed he was on vacation and just returned. Lena naturally suspected him and ordered his arrest. They tied him near a lamp surrounded by the same butterflies. The man felt extremely terrified. Cheng confirmed the man knew these butterflies caused fires and definitely committed the crime. They took him for interrogation, but he said absolutely nothing. He claimed he took a bath and returned because he valued cleanliness. His hands showed no traces of anything, but Lena revealed he felt afraid of the light near the butterflies. Suddenly, an arrow flew towards Wei, but Wei dodged the strike and said they wanted to kill him. Lena told him they planned to release him, and the culprits would definitely kill him to hide their tracks. Wei felt forced to confess that. A woman wearing black covered her face. He saw none of her features, and she even hid her hands. She gave him the box and instructed him that if anyone visited the corpse of the princess, he must release the butterflies to banish the evil spirits away from her. He claimed he did not know the butterflies would set fire to the coffin. He explained that was why he took a bath and washed off any substance from his hands. He then begged Lena to lock him up. He feared he would definitely die if he went outside. Lena told him everything he said lacked evidence to justify imprisoning him. He told them he possessed physical evidence. He received the butterflies inside a box and received orders to dispose of it. However, he discovered the box was extremely valuable, so he never got rid of it at all. Lena ordered the guards to go and fetch the box. Wei asked her if she would imprison him. She replied that he finally told the truth. She declared she would not imprison him for that reason. He kept screaming and felt terrified of what would happen to him. Later, Lena sat with Cheng. She informed Cheng that something strange definitely occurred because the princess died of poisoning. She deduced the poisoning definitely happened through the food. Roshan arrived and brought them some food. They asked Roshan if the princess used to go out or maintain a relationship with anyone. Roshan informed them the princess always stayed isolated inside her room. She loved playing melodies during her free time and never mingled with a single soul inside the palace. Cheng confirmed to Roshan that the princess died of poison. He explained someone tried to frame Roshan for the murder to execute her. Roshan naturally denied everything. She stated that if the princess died of poison, it must have happened through the medicine she took. They went to search the princess's room, but failed to find the medicine. They realized the killer moved faster than them. Cheng noticed some withered flowers. Roshan informed them the princess always took care of these flowers. Cheng took samples from them because he suspected the flowers emitted a toxic scent. Lena then went and tried to test the exact same herbs. She remembered Cheng's warning against harming herself. She decided to visit her master, knowing he could help her. She made him drink the potion, and the master became very sick. The master told her he knew his end would come at her hands, even though he taught her many things. She asked where these herbs were sold. He explained they were sold in the villain's market. Lena went to the villain's market with Cheng. They found a man selling the exact same herbs. He told them these herbs did not show their symptoms until 7 days after death. By then, the corpse would be decomposed and buried, which explained why no one ever discovered the matter. He led them into the room containing the herbs, but they discovered a crocodile inside. They fought the crocodile until they killed it. They approached the man and threatened to kill him if he refused to reveal the buyer's identity. Suddenly, they saw the man collapse on the ground. They naturally went home, feeling extremely confused. They asked the maid Roshan about the place where the princess spent most of her time. Roshan took them to the princess's bathroom. She informed them the princess used to light incense and sit inside the bathroom for over 2 hours. They continued exploring the area and discovered it led to an abandoned palace. They went into the palace and lit the candles. They discovered the candles contained a narcotic substance. They both lost consciousness. The next day, Lena asked Sue who discovered their location. Sue informed them a guard heard a sound and brought them back from the palace. After that, rumors spread about them and the news circulated throughout the entire city. The Empress spoke to Lena and told her everyone knew that she and Cheng spent time together in one room. People claimed they were in a relationship. The Empress assured Lena she knew the situation was a trap, but they had to find a solution. The Empress decided to marry Lena to Cheng if they failed to prove what happened and show it was merely a trap. Naturally, Lena did not object at the time because she and Cheng shared the same mindset. She believed it would definitely be a successful marriage. Later, Lena learned that Princess Wing maintained a relationship with Prince John. They always played music together. Lena went to meet Prince John and his concubine. She brought them food, and Lena deliberately placed the exact same poison that killed Wing into John's food. However, the concubine knocked the food over on purpose. Jin, the princess's friend, arrived and stabbed John. She blamed him for causing her dearest friend's death. Afterwards, Lena went to John's mother and told her she must sign the execution order for her concubine. Lena stated the concubine caused Wing's death. The concubine broke down in tears and confessed she accidentally discovered the relationship between John and Wing. She tried to stop them many times, but their meetings increased. She feared Prince John would face a scandal. That was why she decided to kill Wing. John's mother felt shocked. The concubine confirmed she loved the prince, but he never noticed her. She felt she had to eliminate Wing so he would love her instead. Lena confirmed that the concubine could not possibly do all of this alone. She definitely had an accomplice because the butterfly box was a very expensive type. John's mother tried to evade the accusations, but Lena cornered her with words. John's mother confessed that when she discovered the relationship, she went and spoke with Wing. However, things spiraled out of control. Wing was 4 months pregnant, so she had to smuggle Wing outside the palace to fulfill her dream. However, the concubine acted acted independent, and John's mother had to cover up the situation so her son would not suffer. John arrived and confirmed he loved Wing deeply and was ready to marry her for the sake of his child. He told his mother he could never forgive her because she caused Wing's death. John's mother went to the emperor and apologized for what happened to Wing. She explained she did not cause the tragedy, but merely covered for the concubine. The emperor told her he would not punish her and forgave her actions. He took her to have lunch. Suddenly, a swarm of bats attacked them and injured her face. The guards transferred her to the palace for medical treatment. Lena sat with Cheng and told him the plot was exposed and they no longer faced accusations. Cheng replied that this was the best outcome because he was completely ready to do absolutely anything to prove their innocence. The emperor received news that John's mother died from poisoning after her face became disfigured. The emperor tasked Lena with investigating the incident. She inspected the room where John's mother stayed and discovered she used many different types of cosmetics. She avoided lighting any candles to protect her skin. Lena discovered pills hidden inside the bedpost. She realized one of the female palace doctors manufactured these pills. Lena went to interrogate her, and the doctor confirmed these pills contained no poison. She explained John's mother wanted a quick solution to maintain her skin. Lena retrieved the report and learned the mother died from poisoning that turned her hands and feet blue and caused her to vomit blood. The doctor clarified that these pills turned into poison if they reacted with ginseng. She noted someone definitely gave her this substance in massive quantities. They successfully confirmed the mother requested this substance herself without any medical intervention. This proved the doctor's innocence. Lena went and apologized to the female doctor. The chief physician arrived and handed her a prescription for cold symptoms. He warned her that the illness would spread and potentially become an epidemic. The epidemic indeed swept through the palace, and the patient's conditions worsened severely. People coughed up blood and died until the young prince fell ill. They accused the chief physician and the female doctor of severe negligence because the prescription proved completely ineffective. Lena went to interrogate the female doctor. The doctor assured her something was wrong. She insisted on reviewing the medical records to prove her innocence. During this time, Lena fell ill. Cheng noticed her absence and went to visit her, but she refused to meet him because the disease was highly contagious. She asked him to discover who caused the disappearance of the essential ingredient for the medical injections. The female doctor arrived to treat Lena, and her condition started to improve. Lena went to the emperor and told him the epidemic was an intentional act. Lena deliberately contracted the illness so the female doctor could prove the effectiveness of her treatment. The female doctor was indeed correct about her medical prescription. The entire mistake originated from the pharmacy that prepared the herbs. Cheng felt incredibly happy that Lena recovered and regained her health safely. He told her they would continue the investigation together. The prince later recovered. They visited the chief physician and found him dead. The female doctor felt deeply devastated by his passing. She confirmed he died of a stroke because his eyes were exhausted from writing countless medical prescriptions. He prepared a steam bath for his eyes, but lost consciousness for a few minutes. He fell into the water basin and could not breathe. However, someone suspected the female doctor and claimed she killed him because her treatment proved effective and she surely stole the prescription from him. The female doctor insisted she would never kill the chief physician because she owed him a great debt of gratitude. She successfully proved her innocence. News reached Lena that the chief pharmacist died. She immediately went to investigate the incident. She spotted the cook, Shishin. He told her he came to fetch herbs from the kitchen. She allowed him to leave. They continued investigating the matter and discovered someone dropped a heavy millstone on the victim from above using a rope. Lena remembered seeing the cook, Shishin, nearby. She went to interrogate the cook and asked him why he murdered the pharmacy doctor. He assured her he did absolutely nothing. He claimed he only went to fetch herbs and returned immediately. Lena and Cheng walked outside. Cheng assured her a secret definitely hid behind the cook's actions because he possessed great skills in cutting meat. Cheng decided to visit the cook's village to investigate. Cheng arrived at the village and met Shishin's former master. The master confirmed Shishin never showed any criminal tendencies. He explained, Shishin brought a girl to learn herbal medicine alongside him. However, the girl acted very aggressively and constantly killed animals. The master stated they expelled her for that reason. However, they noticed Shishin constantly returning from the forest with dusty clothes. They realized he maintained a relationship with the girl until the royal palace selected him to work there. The master mentioned they felt incredibly proud of him since then and even painted a portrait of him. Chung asked about the girl's identity. The master confirmed the girl currently worked with Shishin at the palace because he always mentioned her in his letters. Cheng returned to Lena and delivered the news. They later discovered Shishin's sudden disappearance and frantically searched for him. They eventually found him murdered. The female doctor performed an autopsy on his corpse. She then stepped out holding a new medical prescription. She handed the prescription to Cheng so so the pharmacy could prepare it. They then went to interrogate the female doctor. The doctor assured them she did not kill him. She claimed he committed suicide after discovering he caught the epidemic, and she subsequently made a decision. She decided to autopsy his corpse. They asked her about her relationship with Shishen. She confirmed Shishen saw her in the forest while she was sleeping among the herbs. She had a broken arm, and he managed to treat it. She took him with her to her living space in the forest. He saw her dissecting animals. She assured him the animals were sick. She felt curious to discover the cause of their illness and how to treat them. She gave them the herbs she collected to observe the results and formulate scientific mixtures. Shishen admired her thinking. He told her he would take her to his master to teach her. However, everyone in the village grew terrified of her because she took animals and dissected them. Shishen later got a job at the palace. She subsequently discovered the chief physician was ill. She was the only one who created a steam mixture for him to heal. He constantly improved her condition, so he taught her from a young age and hid her story from everyone in the palace. Shishen later discovered the head pharmacist learned about the herbal mixtures he took. Shishen managed to eliminate him to protect the female doctor's secret. Shishen committed suicide himself. He told her he trusted her to create a scientific mixture and eradicate the epidemic plaguing the village. Lena then stated this would not let her escape punishment. Cheng told her this was a love story where both sacrificed themselves for the sake of science. They then received news that the female doctor was poisoned. Lena went to treat her. The female doctor told her she confessed to all her crimes and wanted to die in peace. However, the emperor sent them a telegram. He informed them the new mixture succeeded thanks to the female doctor. No new infection cases spread, and the majority of patients began recovering. The emperor requested the female doctor to visit him. The female doctor went to him. He told her he would pardon her because she did all this for the sake of science. The female doctor asked his permission to go and bury Shishen in his hometown. She indeed went, and the master welcomed her. He told her he never knew she was a scientific prodigy and apologized for everything that happened. She replied it was nothing and asked permission to bid Shishen farewell alone. They entered the room after a while and found she committed suicide next to Shishen's picture. She left a letter for Lena stating she could not live after Shishen because he was the only one who believed her, and they loved each other. Lena and Cheng naturally felt deeply moved. She gave the master a sum of money and instructed him to hold a proper funeral for them. She asked him to write on the grave about the sacrifice they made for the country's sak. Lena then went to meet her uncle. She wanted to ask him about some events that occurred in the past during her father's murder. Her uncle told her it was late and a thunderstorm started. She had dinner with Cheng and they went to sleep. The next day, they woke up to the sound of a murder in the old palace. Lena went to investigate the incident, but they stopped her. They told her the crime targeted the lower part of a man's body. Cheng blindfolded her and they entered to examine the scene. Cheng informed her that the crime was horrific. He noted signs of torture and resistance on his hands, but he died from bleeding. She then stepped outside and pointed out that no one heard anything. As long as he tried to resist, it meant he screamed. She retrieved the incense found at the scene and discovered the incense contained a narcotic. Lena then went to interrogate her uncle's wife. Her uncle's wife claimed she knew absolutely nothing. Suddenly, a guard arrived and told her that the young prince's room window was open. The mother naturally paid no attention. Lena told her she had to check on the young prince. They went to the room. She informed them her uncle locked the room tightly and no one could open it except him. However, Lena insisted on entering. They opened the room and checked on the young prince. They asked Cheng if he saw anything strange during the night. They learned from the young prince that a thunderstorm occurred and the lightning illuminated the room like daylight. He saw someone's shadow. The person looked like a statue. Cheng drew a picture of the person, but the child corrected the drawing. They asked the guards if anyone wore a similar outfit. The guards replied that no one passed in front of the child's room. They walked outside. Lena naturally felt suspicious of the situation. She asked her uncle's wife if the child was her son. She confirmed he was not her son. Her uncle brought him because she could not have children. Lena asked where he got him from. She informed Lena these were secrets between him and the magician Kia. Lena and Cheng then went to check the magician Kia's room. They found a statue inside. They remembered the drawing the child made and realized this statue was used in the murder. They decided to visit the magician Kia's show. They found him performing a beautiful theatrical show. Even they felt impressed by it. Suddenly, blood dripped from the stage, terrifying everyone present. Lena went up to investigate the incident. Cheng noticed the head was missing. He found it elsewhere. His assistant, Lulu, arrived and confirmed. This was not the magician, but his assistant. The instrument was not sharp, so they wondered how he died. They found a wire used for kites, which served as the murder weapon. Lulu confirmed that the magician disappeared or was kidnapped because a piece of his clothing remained. Lulu then received news that the women's wing suffered an attack. Lena naturally insisted on going to see what happened. They discovered this. Wing housed a large number of pregnant women. She asked a pregnant woman what happened. The woman explained that a man arrived and tried to take her away from the place. She managed to resist him and stabbed him him with her hairpin. Lena ordered the guards to track the blood trail because it was still fresh. She later sat with Lulu, and Lulu explained that this place was dedicated to pregnant women who lacked a place to care for them. It specifically catered to pregnant women who were unmarried. The magician and her uncle helped them. Lena naturally stated that many secrets remained hidden within the palace, and she had to uncover them. The next day, they came and informed her that the pregnant woman was going into labor. Lena went to check on her. She found the woman bleeding and delivering prematurely due to the attack she suffered. After delivering the baby, the mother died. Lena then began interrogating Lulu. She told her something definitely happened, and the bleeding was unnatural. She discovered a drug was placed in the woman's food, causing the fatal bleeding. Lena later spoke with her uncle's wife. The wife explained their marriage started normally, and she even got pregnant. Suddenly, she began suffering complications during her pregnancy. Her husband took over all financial matters. From that point on, the business started losing money under his management. He constantly worshipped and acted aggressively towards her. She then miscarried the child. Since then, he constantly insisted he needed a lineage and an heir for the family. He later brought a child for her to adopt. He discovered at that time from the magician that an illegal child trafficking trade existed for infertile people and high-ranking state officials who feared their wives would get pregnant and suffer. This arrangement naturally suited him perfect. Since then, he established a wing for women without families who wanted to get pregnant. The wife admitted she could not stop him since then. Lena later went to interrogate the midwife. The midwife informed her that specific delivery dates were required for the mothers. Therefore, they gave the women blood-thinning medication to induce labor on the exact date they needed to deliver the child, even if it was premature. They strictly prioritized preserving the child's life over the mother's. Cheng then discovered a secret hideout and went to search inside. He discovered the hideout led to the north. Searching the north was difficult because its population was massive. They later learned someone helped the uncle and delivered food to him during his worship. They identified him as the uncle's servant. They went to arrest the servant. The servant tried to set the place on fire and kill himself. However, the child arrived, called him grandfather, and begged him not to leave him. The servant naturally backed away from killing himself. They then began interrogating him. The servant informed them he only had one daughter. During his vacation, he went to visit her and found her husband's family had chained her up. He discovered she lost her mind and kept claiming she had a child, but no one believed her. She frequently escaped from the house. The last time he went to retrieve her from the same place, she was knocking on small walls until the child appeared. The child looked exactly like her, and he confirmed she indeed had a baby. However, the uncle arrived and told him this was a child. His daughter got terrified at that moment, claimed she had no child, ran away, and committed suicide. Because he could not swim, he failed to save her. He then decided to take revenge on everyone responsible for his daughter's death. He got a job at the palace and discovered the uncle trafficked children. He decided to take revenge on all of them. The assistant began confessing. He explained they lured his daughter with money. They promised she would get pregnant after a long period of infertility. They cared for her at the palace until her delivery date arrived. They gave her the bleeding potion prematurely. She suffered greatly, but managed to escape from the palace. He naturally managed to earn the magician's trust through his tricks. The magician assured him no one else knew his face because he constantly wore a mask. He confirmed the murdered person was the one responsible for killing the girls after they gave birth. They brought the child. They confirmed his grandfather always cared for him and taught him about his real mother. Lena then went to speak with her uncle's wife. The wife confirmed she and her husband were sitting at night when a man suddenly arrived. The man stated that Lena was coming to investigate her father's death. He took the uncle into the basement. Lena naturally grew suspicious of the situation. Suddenly, arrows rained down on them, and Lena suffered an injury to her shoulder. She managed to help her uncle escape. Cheng arrived, defended her, picked her up, and fled. She assured them the arrow was poisoned and she would die. She begged him to leave her behind and run, but he refused to abandon her. Her master arrived and gave her an antidote pill. She asked him why he traveled all this distance. He replied he knew she came to investigate her father's death and her uncle disappeared. He realized she was in danger, so he came to save her. The master ordered Cheng to take her and protect her, insisting they must not let her out no matter what happened. The master began fighting the masked man. The masked man replied that he was an old friend and memorized all of his moves. They began fighting each other to the death. They asked the master about his identity, but the masked man refused to answer. Lena sensed the master was in danger and tried to go out and save him. However, Cheng covered her mouth. She remembered a moment from the past during her father's incident when the young boy who helped her covered her mouth. Suddenly, the masked man attacked the master. He stabbed him with his sword and sprayed powder on the master's face. They realized this powder severely damaged the eyes and required an immediate antidote. The masked man declared the case closed 16 years ago must be reopened. He asked the master about the mastermind behind him. The masked man fatally struck the master, causing him to collapse. The masked man fled to treat his injured eye. eyes. Lena rushed out. She begged the master not to die and leave her completely alone. Cheng then took her home. The next day, she woke up and remembered Cheng saved her during the incident. She went to Cheng and pointed her sword at him. Cheng noted that she finally remembered everything. She begged him to remember any voice or tone belonging to the killer. He explained he found her exhausted and carried her on his back. He climbed the walls, met his father, and took her with them in the carriage. She ordered him to immediately sever their relationship. She asked why he never reminded her of these events. He replied that forgetting remained the best option, and he could not remind her of the terrible tragedy. Cheng then took her to his father. His father explained he could not reveal he brought her to the palace. Back then, he claimed he knew nothing about the incident. He only knew her father planned a rebellion before assassins murdered him. Lena asked how he could plan a rebellion while celebrating the Lantern Festival with his family. The father confirmed that after Cheng rescued her, he handed her over to the master. The master brought her to the palace, lived with her, and exposed himself to major suspicions. She constantly argued with the master and never realized he knew the truth. Cheng's father assured her the master actually knew nothing else and only defended her like his own daughter. Lena felt deeply shocked and went to bury the master. She promised to avenge him and her entire family. She later visited the tavern and saw a woman holding the master's bag. Lena realized this was his lover. The woman explained he cared for her and wished to marry her, but her father objected. Since then, she and the master could never stay together. She told Lena her arrival changed his entire life and cured his loneliness. A month after his death, Sue visited Lena and informed her someone dug up the plants belonging to the Empress's maid. Sue explained she received orders to investigate the incident, but failed to find any clues. The maid arrived and told them the king loved those plants deeply. He would stop visiting if they died. Sue promised the maid she would handle the matter personally. Later, Sue went to guard the plants. Suddenly, someone approached, dug into the plants, and tried to destroy them. Lena arrived to help Sue. She pointed out footprints indicating someone planted ginseng, which ruined the plants. She explained this specific fertilizer would definitely catch fire if the culprit's shoes touched fire. She then summoned all the guards for a meeting and ordered them to place their shoes near the flames. She discovered a guard named Coco whose shoes caught fire. He confessed he ruined the flowers. Coco then explained he desperately needed those plants to treat his sick son. His son suffered from an illness, and only ginseng plants could cure him. Lena asked where he obtained the plants. He claimed he received them as a gift from the sky. Everyone naturally felt surprised. Coco explained he was sleeping and suddenly woke up to find the plants inside his pocket. The anonymous person ordered him to plant them among the guards' plants because growing this specific plant remained strictly prohibited outside royal areas. Everyone found the story incredibly strange and refused to believe it. Lena insisted he show her the exact location where he expected to find the seeds again. He took her to an old windmill filled with hanging bells. Suddenly, the wind blew heavily. Lena found herself surrounded by black smoke. Then she fought through it until Chung arrived and woke her up. He confirmed she experienced severe hypnosis. He explained how the combination of bells and wind induced the hypnosis. He then tried to apologize to her for everything. She told him he must stay away from her because she brought terrible luck. Her master and family died, and anyone close to her would definitely die. Chung assured her he did not care if he died, as long as he died by her side. He could not survive without her. Lena naturally tried to change the subject and suggested they continue the investigation. Sue arrived and informed them Coco died. They went to examine the crime scene. They discovered a lit candle set to trigger an arrow 2 hours later. She confirmed this was a carefully premeditated murder. She then interrogated the plant supervisor, who confirmed trading these seeds remained strictly forbidden outside the royal palace. Only Dr. Liu possessed the safe's key. She asked about Dr. Liu's whereabouts. The supervisor explained he only returned home at night. They went to search for him, but found him dead. Cheng confirmed the cause of death was not poisoning, but heart attack. He fell somewhere else, and someone dragged him to this location to die in peace. They later found a specific bird feather on him. They visited the female guard who owned this bird. She insisted evil spirits murdered the master. She took them to the walls and claimed she and the master saw a ghost. The master suffered a heart attack because of this. She managed to give him the pills. Cheng then sat down. He watched the walls and discovered a secret. They then saw the snow princess emerging from the wall. They discovered she remained alive and went. They spoke with her maid. The maid confirmed the snow princess possessed incredibly beautiful white skin, that the emperor admired her so much that he made her his first lover. However, spots later began appearing on her face. The emperor stopped visiting her. She eventually asked Dr. Liu for help. Dr. Liu told her a treatment existed, but it would affect her eyes. She did not care about her eyes as much as she cared about her beauty. Liu later died of a heart attack. They tried to treat him. They failed to save him. The maid dragged his body to a safe place. They later discovered he died a natural death. He did not suffer from poisoning. However, the autopsy doctor arrived and confirmed he suffered from violence beforehand. Someone replaced his pills with pills containing a toxic substance. She assured them them a secret hid behind this entire story. They went to interrogate the bird's guard. The guard confirmed she received a prophecy. She learned the bird planned to visit her in 7 months. She had to prepare the path to welcome it safely. Lena asked her about preparing the path. The guard confirmed she had to cause the death of many people who annoyed her. Lena then discovered a village practiced magic. This village sent the bird to impersonate someone else's identity. They successfully arrested the man. They asked him about his actions. He confirmed he served a cult of sorcerers and received orders for everything he did to earn money. He stated that if they took him to trial before His Majesty the Emperor, he caused absolutely nothing. Everyone's life ended in their own way. He admitted he incited them, but never told them to kill themselves directly. Naturally, Lena asserted that practicing magic alone carried a death sentence. She threatened to execute him if he refused to confess his accomplices' identities. He confessed the bird's guard helped him with the missions. Lena went to arrest the bird's guard. She indeed found the guard wearing the bird costume and terrifying the Snow Princess. However, the Snow Princess felt no fear because she grew accustomed to her. Lena interrogated her and asked why she did it. The guard explained she initially thought she did it just for money to get what she wanted and execute the missions. She later discovered she truly loved the bird and felt attached to it. She felt compelled to execute everything she saw in the dream. Lena interrogated her further. She assured her no bird visited her in her dreams. They hypnotized her to make her dream of the bird. They controlled her mind entirely. She confirmed the maid also committed suicide because of the guard and because the maid refused to follow the bird's orders. The bird haunted her and caused her many nightmares. The maid wanted to rest and end her own life, so she actually did it. Lena felt deeply moved and ordered them to arrest the guard. Lena then remembered all her memories with the master. She stated she truly wished he, her father, or her mother would visit her in a dream. Suddenly, the master appeared to her and reminded her of all their memories together. He asked her to sleep and rest so she could wake up. Feeling well, Lena woke up and found herself sleeping on Cheng's leg. She felt extremely startled. Cheng told her there was no need for embarrassment. She simply fell asleep suddenly after constantly recalling bad memories. He suggested this might be an effect of the hypnosis. Lena asked him if this also related to astronomy. Cheng assured her he disliked astronomy. However, on the day of the incident, he fell into a mud puddle and failed to get out. She told him he had to calm down and pull his leg out slowly. He successfully escaped the mud puddle. She then kept telling him about the stars and planets exactly as her father taught her. He felt a strong desire to answer her question. He went to study astronomy and came back to answer her, but the tragedy suddenly occurred. He snapped out of his memories. Lena asked him if the question required 14 years for an answer. He assured her he would gladly sacrifice his life for her sake. Lena later learned someone came seeking treatment for an eye exposed to poison. She realized it was the masked man who killed the master. She brought Dr. Rana, the doctor in charge of the case. Dr. Rana informed her the man suffered from eye poisoning and decided to undergo acupuncture treatment. Rana agreed with her to set a trap for the masked man because he caused the murder of many people. She agreed to meet him. Later, Cheng walked alone and sensed someone behind him. Someone indeed attacked him with a sword, intending to kill him. Lena arrived at the last moment and successfully saved him. She feared for his safety and asked him not to return home because he would find the killer there. Cheng asked if she felt scared for him. She confirmed she truly feared for him because he could have become a corpse if she failed to save him at the last moment. Cheng then decided to stay with her. They later agreed with the doctor on the plan they would execute. The doctor went to wait for the masked man. However, the masked man sent her a note stating he would wait for her at a specific location. Suddenly, she agreed. Rana woke up and found herself inside a box. The masked man apologized to her for the way he brought her. She started treating his eye, and he felt an improvement. After she finished, he confirmed he was not the man with the injured eye. The real masked man stepped out. Rana asked him if he poisoned an innocent man to test the treatment on him. He confirmed no one saw or knew him for 15 years, and he had to remain disguised. She began treating his eye and told him he needed a second session because the poison reached the flesh. If it reached the bone, he would immediately experience a severe headache as the poison reacted with his body. He refused to let her leave. Meanwhile, Lena searched for her, heard her voice, and ran towards it. She told the masked man it was his end. The masked man assured her she could not arrest him. She replied he would fall on his own. Suddenly, he felt a headache. She confirmed she poisoned all the injections. Rana naturally grew furious and asked Lena how she could ruin her reputation and poison the needles like that. Lena assured her the needles could be sterilized, but if he escaped, she would lose her last hope of discovering why her father killed her family. She successfully interrogated the masked man. He informed her a rebellion was about to happen. The emperor personally discovered the rebellion and ordered her father to calm the army. Her father refused at the time. The emperor ordered them to bring her father, but he also refused to come. They felt forced to eliminate the entire family and frame him for the murder. The masked man managed managed to escape from her. Lena received a message from Chung informing her the old palace held a secret. She realized Cheng was in danger and went to her old father's palace. She remembered her memories with him and went inside. She found a man threatening Cheng's father. If he refused to confess the truth, he would kill his son. Lena naturally defended him, chased the man outside, and continued fighting him. He then revealed his identity. She discovered he was Park, the commander of her father's Iron Army. Park told her that after all these years, he discovered who killed him. The killer wore a unique necklace. He explained he watched her for a long time and saw her with that man. As soon as he saw the necklace, he knew he was the killer. He stated the man must confess what happened in front of her. Lena assured him Cheng's father protected her and managed to smuggle her out of the palace. Cheng's father spoke up and confirmed he came to stop the disaster before it happened, but it occurred prematurely. Park also assured her they received orders from the emperor not to attack the city. Her father was the only one who could stop them. That was why he lost contact. They decided to come and see what happened. They arrived in disguise, wearing civilian clothes and carrying no weapons. When they arrived, they discovered the massacre. The only thing he saw was a necklace. He remembered this was the person responsible for killing the family. He later confirmed Cheng and his father were not responsible. He began apologizing to them. Park apologized to them naturally and confirmed the emperor was the only one holding the secret because he ordered everything. Lena naturally decided to go to the emperor to understand the truth from him. However, he refused to meet her. She sat in front of the door until he finally agreed to see her. She asked him if he caused her father's murder and wanted to know the secret. The emperor replied he protected her for 15 years, and her reward now was accusing him of doing that. She stated all evidence pointed to him being the only one holding the truth. However, the emperor refused to speak and ordered her detained in her old father's palace until he released her. Lena went there and found Cheng. He told her the palace needed cleaning, so he came to clean it for her. However, the emperor's assistant informed them that visits and guests were strictly prohibited until her punishment was lifted. Cheng later decided to get her out of her crisis. The news reached the masked man. The masked man noted the emperor took no radical solution. This meant Lena would continue investigating the matter and discover the truth. Lena later confirmed the food they received was poison. She and the maids had to eat it because nothing else was available until the 15th day. Lena gave them pills to resist the poison. They tried to inform the guard that the food contained poison, but the guard paid no attention. They told him they would inform the emperor. They actually informed him, and the emperor ordered a doctor to be sent to them. The doctor went, analyzed the food, and discovered a substance. She promised to return again with the treatment. However, Lena's condition began to worsen, and the servants stopped eating the food completely. They later went to the emperor. They informed him the princess was extremely sick, but the emperor paid no attention. He assumed she was acting to gain his sympathy. Su later went to Chung and told him the princess was dying. He asked her how he could help her. He locked himself up for 30 days to finish his research. He went and presented the research to the emperor. The emperor felt highly impressed by the research and stated it would greatly benefit him in managing the empire. He then decided to reward him. Cheng requested to marry Lena. The emperor agreed. Cheng successfully managed to save Lena. She recovered after learning Cheng presented marriage proposal. The emperor indeed approved it. Cheng completely avoided visiting her for a while, making her incredibly confused. When he finally visited, he brought her a rabbit-shaped lantern. She asked him why he avoided visiting her during that entire period. He explained he feared she would refuse because he proposed behind her back. He realized this might upset her. He agreed that if she disapproved, he would immediately go to the emperor and change his decision. Lena suddenly surprised him by agreeing. They officially announced the wedding ceremony. Lena requested an audience with the emperor, but he refused again. She then decided to delay the marriage until the investigation into her father's case concluded. Cheng promised to stand by her and support her until she discovered the truth. Later, Lena organized her wedding party. The maids asked her what type of drink she wanted to serve. She told them to serve the noble's drink. Everyone felt surprised because they never heard that name before. Lena then sent Cheng and Su's team on a special mission to arrest the masked man. However, Cheng sensed something was wrong and realized Lena intentionally kept him away from the party. The party began at that moment, and the emperor's deputy arrived. Everyone greeted him. They informed him Lena had not appeared yet and promised to arrive at a specific time. Suddenly, most attendees felt dizzy and poisoned. Lena appeared and announced that an incident occurred in this exact palace 15 years ago, resulting in the murder of her entire family. She declared this was the perfect time to take her revenge. She assured them someone present was responsible for the incident, but since she could not identify him, she felt forced to poison everyone. She specifically wanted Muhammad Ali. The deputy advisor naturally fled to another location. He went to Lena and told her this was the only place no one knew about except her father, and it was the exact spot where her father died. He revealed he managed to enter and exit the palace completely unnoticed because of this place. Her father trusted him with his secret. He confirmed he was indeed the culprit. He explained her father begged begged him to spare his family, but he showed no mercy to him or his family. He confirmed Park came to help her father, and her father did everything to prevent a coup. The deputy admitted he intentionally took his place without a coup. He felt forced to turn against him and made the emperor believe her father betrayed him with the Iron Army. In reality, her father never betrayed him. He was actually helping him. Lena naturally attacked him alongside Park. The masked man appeared and continuously attacked Lena. He stabbed her in the shoulder with his sword. Park did everything possible to eliminate the soldiers and go help her. However, Lena managed to throw the masked man into the sea. She remembered when he killed her master and killed him exactly the same way. She then approached the emperor's deputy and told him the time came for him to die. Cheng entered and warned her that killing the deputy would cause a massacre because neither the emperor nor his wife would accept this outcome. The empress would be furious. Lena naturally insisted on finishing Cheng off. Lena remained determined to finish him, but Cheng stopped her. He warned her she would suffer lifelong remorse if she actually killed him. He added the entire capital would be destroyed and coups would erupt. She finally felt forced to spare him. She then faced a trial before the emperor. The emperor later visited Lena because she had not recovered from the stab wound yet. He told her he could not sentence his deputy to death, but chose to exile him from the country. She replied this was not the justice she expected him to deliver. She expected him to sentence the deputy to death publicly. The emperor assured her that executing him would trigger elections and numerous massacres, as everyone competed for his position. He simply could not do that. Lena naturally felt deeply upset and remained in her place. Cheng came to ask her what she wanted. She assured him she would never forgive him because he prevented her from taking revenge on her father's killer. He assured her he only protected her so she would not feel remorse. She insisted on canceling the marriage because she truly brought bad luck and would definitely harm him as long as they stayed together. He asked her if she punished him because he stopped her from getting revenge. She confirmed revenge was her true goal, not marriage. He naturally felt shocked and deeply hurt. He refused to leave his house, and she also became very sick and refused to leave her house. A month later, she decided to visit the emperor and submit her resignation. The emperor told her the empress was angry in another palace. Lena went to reconcile with her. She explained she never knew her brother caused the death of Lena's family and her 15 years of suffering. Lena assured her she considered her like a mother after she raised and cared for her. They successfully reconciled. The emperor then sent a message to the empress asking her to attend a massive feast he was hosting. She naturally felt incredibly happy and went with Lena. The emperor announced Cheng would become the prime minister of astronomy. Cheng actively tried to avoid Lena. The time came to schedule the feast. The emperor set the date. Suddenly, the person standing in front of the empress caught fire and fell to the ground. The empress naturally asked Lena to handle the investigation. Cheng decided to help her, and they began investigating the case together. Later, Cheng felt sick. His assistant informed him the pills he took would not last long because they cost a fortune. The assistant insisted a cure definitely existed for his illness and warned him that no one must know he was sick. Another crime occurred later. They found a maid's corpse inside a drum. They confirmed the maid was drunk at a tavern. She stepped outside and threw her clothes on the ground. However, someone moved her inside the drum, so her body would be discovered. They realized a secret existed, but they did not know what it was. Lena promised Sue she would solve. Lena promised to solve the mystery with her before resigning again. Sue told her the most important thing was solving the mystery first before deciding the next step. Cheng went to speak with her. He told her he did not feel angry about her actions and admitted she had the right to feel angry at him because he stopped her. He stopped her from taking revenge. He assured her that was for her own good. She asked him to stay away from her and explained she felt forced to seek revenge. She added that her life threatened everyone around her because she was a bad omen. Cheng did not believe anything she said. Cheng decided to try. He then went to the master and brought him something. He brought him his favorite drink. Cheng asked the master if he could do anything else. The coin suddenly dropped. He realized no hope remained to return to Lena. They began preparing the palace for the feast and dug into the ground. They suddenly found a statue. They pointed out the statue did not belong to a dragon, but the monster that ate the dragon. They considered this a terrible omen. They went to inform the emperor. A letter from the emperor arrived at that time stating the planet Jupiter would descend to Earth to achieve peace. Cheng realized the astronomy ministry sent the letter. He went to justify the matter to the prince. He assured him there were no predictions about Jupiter descending. The emperor felt completely shocked because that meant something. It meant the end of his empire. The man who discovered the statue went to inspect it. The man slipped and fell suddenly. Lena went there afterwards. She also slipped. She discovered someone intentionally spilled oil on the stairs. They later managed to arrest the culprit. They learned his name was Lu and threw him in prison. Lu wanted to speak to Lena. He assured her the king of Jupiter did this. He begged her to save his family. Lena went to his family's house and found them all murdered. They investigated the matter and discovered the killer utilized a martial art technique. He used poisoned needles needles. They found a hiding child and took him for interrogation. The child woke up. The child felt extremely terrified. He confirmed he knew about his entire family's death. Lena sympathized with him and asked what happened. He told her the king of Jupiter killed them. He explained he played hide and seek with his brother. He hid in the well. He fell asleep suddenly, and when he came out, he found them all dead. The king told him a song existed. He had to sing it so the king would not kill him too. Lena sympathized with the boy and remembered. She remembered everything that happened to her. She stated this boy would live a tragic life like hers. His family died before his eyes. She went to interrogate Lou and asked him what happened. He assured her the king would kill him too, just like he killed his entire family. She showed him his son's drum and assured him his son, he was still alive. She asked him to tell her everything so his son would not be killed. He told her this happened because of something. It was because of what he did 15 years ago. He continued, hitting his head against the wall until he lost consciousness. Lena went to speak with the child. The child declared he would kill the king, just like he killed his family. Lena remembered Cheng's words to her. She assured the child that revenge and murder would not bring him justice. She explained the crime would cause him nightmares. Cheng heard her. Cheng felt she finally forgave him. Lena asked the child to describe the killer. The child successfully drew the features. Lena took the picture and left. She then went to Park and told him he was responsible for everything that happened. Park replied that no evidence supported her claims. She showed him the picture and reminded him of his disguise. She reminded him he loved disguising himself like that. Park confessed he did it to restore her father's rights. She asked him about the innocent family's guilt. He assured her their father was the reason for changing the clock. He stated they deserved the exact same punishment. He asked her to continue with him. He asked her to continue the same game. He added they needed to make the emperor feel the presence of a bad omen, so he would order the empress's death. He explained the emperor's deputy would emerge this way and take his place. He tried to defend his sister. Lena stopped him. She assured him the empress cared for her all these years and committed no sin. Lena felt deeply saddened to discover the culprit. He told her this was the only way to avenge her father. He asked her if she wanted to back down. He asked her about abandoning her revenge. Lena remained silent. She went and learned that most of the feast's lanterns were highly flammable. They went to verify the matter. The lantern maker confirmed nothing flammable existed. He tested the lanterns in front of them. Fire suddenly spread everywhere. They sensed a person's silhouette walking. Cheng went to investigate. He assured them the person who lured them to the lanterns intended to distract them from something specific he was securing. They later confirmed the lantern maker's death. Cheng felt extremely surprised because the fire was insufficient to burn the corpse like that. The news reached the emperor. He realized this was indeed a bad omen. They decided to protect the empress. Rumors spread that the empress was the intended bad omen of the festival. Lena went to speak with the empress. The empress advised her not to dance at the feast. The empress confirmed this was the emperor's request. Lena asked her about the rumors. She assured her that her brother, the emperor's assistant, definitely started these rumors to execute his plan and stage a coup. News reached Cheng that people saw the same masked man distributing a song and declaring that the empress was indeed the bad omen. Cheng looked at the picture of both men and realized they were the same person. He suspected something specific. Lena stood with Park. Park assured her the day finally came to avenge her father's death. She told him she wanted nothing bad to happen to the empress. Park assured her nothing would happen except his own appearance alongside the old plan he created. Cheng arrived. Cheng told Lena he understood everything. He knew she helped Park and assisted his escape from the palace. She assured Cheng she had to do absolutely everything to avenge her father's death. She refused to let him stop her again. Lena struck Cheng and ordered Park to tie him up. She went to the palace carrying boxes. She announced they were a gift for the empress, so no one dared to search her. The celebration began, and the empress stepped forward to perform her dance. Suddenly, fireworks launched into the sky. At that moment, the emperor's assistant stood outside. He declared he would never allow anyone to harm his sister. He stated the time arrived to execute. The coup delayed for 15 years because of Lena's father. They initiated the attack on the palace, and many people died. Suddenly, fireworks shaped like a phoenix illuminated the sky. Everyone realized the curse finally ended, and no bad omen existed. The entire crowd rejoiced. The emperor's assistant realized this was merely a trick designed to lure him out and expose him before the emperor as a longtime traitor. He understood Lena orchestrated this entire trap. He began attacking the army again, but he suffered a severe injury. He requested an audience with the emperor and went to him. He claimed the situation was a trap, but the emperor called him a liar. The emperor asked him how he could lie when his plot was exposed. He stated the assistant killed a large group of his men and brought the army he hid for a long time. The emperor admitted he should have believed Lena when she called him a traitor. The assistant tried to beg for a pardon from the emperor and the empress. However, his sister stood before the emperor and declared her brother was indeed guilty and deserved punishment. The emperor confirmed his punishment would be execution because he betrayed the state twice and murdered Lena's father. Lena felt extremely happy because her father father finally received justice. Cheng arrived and assisted her with the plan. He confirmed to everyone that the Emperor's assistant orchestrated the entire plot. He was the one who spread the rumors about the planet, Jupiter. Lena finally took her revenge on her father's killer and felt incredibly joyful. Later, Park approached and tried to kill Lena. She asked him why he wanted to do that. He explained he made a bet for the Iron Army's victory. He bet the Iron Army's leader would send his men to arrest her on charges of murder because they supposedly incited her. The guards indeed arrived, aiming to arrest the people trying to assassinate her. She asked them how they knew. They confirmed they received news stating no one approached her hall. The guards left her alone and walked away. Park then stepped forward and thanked her for all the help she and her father provided. Cheng arrived and told her the time came to start a new, peaceful life together. She assured him she agreed to the marriage, but needed to do one last thing. She went to the Emperor's assistant. She told him the Emperor issued an order allowing her to take her revenge personally. He replied it was impossible for her to do that. She reminded him of everything he did to her and her family. She finally killed him with her sword. She felt extremely happy because she successfully avenged her family after 15 years. She then visited the Emperor and announced she would submit her resignation because she wanted to live comfortably after getting married. The Emperor felt annoyed with her because she wanted to leave after everything he did for her, including letting her take her revenge personally. She assured him this was the correct decision and she would never change her mind. She then went to bid farewell to the Empress. The Empress told Lena she considered her a daughter all these years. Lena assured her that her upbringing was truly perfect. Cheng then went and submitted his resignation. Lena and Cheng lived a happy and peaceful life together. The story ended there.